Hi, I'm Kat, I play Sims, and I decided to do something a little bit different and try a build challenge in Grayscale. It might have made a little bit more sense to do a smaller house, but for whatever reason I decided I was going to do a fairly big 2-story modern looking house because I thought I might get away better with the roof situation this way. I put some columns on it from Get Together which I was hoping were black. I went for a gravel roof and patio texture, which I was sure I knew the swatches of, but as it turned out I wasn't so up to date on them. I decided on a businesses and hobbies siding for the outside of the house. I was trying to go fairly sort of light white, grey and black. For the modern thing, I decided to put in a big wall of windows with the glass wallpapers on one side. I added columns around it, and then I decided to do more sections of those across different areas of the house. I used the big modern businesses and hobbies door in the front, and at the back I added a plain glass door, or what I thought was a plain sliding glass door, and some matching windows which were from the birthday update quite a while ago. I added more of those walls of windows, and then I just duplicated the columns and put those around the glass sections. I used base game stairs. It was after the recent update, so I did flare them out a little bit at the bottom just because I could. I think I'll be doing that for a while. I decided to leave the floor plan pretty much open on the bottom floor, but I put in some walls on the top for a large bedroom and a pretty large bathroom as well. I put some plain stair railings on that were base game, and then I moved the back door to make a bigger patio, and I put in a pool in the back. I was aiming for kind of a fancy modern house. I gave the pool a trim from Lovestruck, which I thought was white, and I put in a Grange mudroom tile for the patio, which I quite often forget about. I added the Adventure Awaits in-ground hot tub, and I put on a Lovestruck fence, which I thought was a nice silver grey colour, but I liked the design on that particular swatch. I made the patio a little bit bigger for the fence, and then I did a little bit of landscaping. I tried to match it to the surrounding area a little bit, so it was mostly willow trees and a couple of taller ones. And then I went back, and instead of putting gates on the patio fence, I just took out some areas. I added some Desert Luxe sun loungers in the corners. I decided I wanted a lounger in the pool as well, so I got one from Island Living in a black swatch. I put the little bubble thing in the bottom of the pool that keeps it warm, and I decided I wanted a diving board as well from Adventure Awaits, so I put the high one in there and just rearranged stuff around it. I didn't want to risk too much with landscaping around the house in case of the colours, so I decided to use the little really squared off hedge that's quite fancy looking, and I just put that along the back without covering the windows. I decided I wanted a grill, so I put a base game one in there that I was fairly confident was plain, and then I put in a Riviera retreat table and a backyard stuff set of chairs. I tried to do some terrain paint around the house, but it was fully invisible on the grayscale, so I was mostly guessing for that. I decided to move on indoors. I put down the businesses and hobbies floors that I really like, the wood texture, and I put in a sleek bathroom kit floor in the bathroom. For some reason I then went on and did my lights, and when I went to do the sleek bathroom kit wall I couldn't remember what the swatch had been anymore. I put in doors from Dream Home Decorator because I was pretty sure they were plain, and I just fixed a couple of bits of the walls where I needed a sliding door on the patio upstairs, and I put in the fence that was the same as downstairs as well. For the bulk of the walls I decided it would be safest just to do a pastel tone of the paint, so I put one on that I was reasonably sure was a nice light colour, and then I replaced all of the glass walls that I'd accidentally covered up by using shift on the walls. I put businesses and hobbies siding again in the bedroom, but I wasn't entirely sure what shade, and then I moved downstairs and I quickly fixed that section of window again that I'd broken by doing the wallpaper. I moved the door a little bit to do a sitting area in the corner, so I put a base game TV in that's quite big, and I decided the refined living room kit was my best bet for the sitting area, so I used that for the sofa and the coffee table in what I hoped was black, and then I just used the rug from Industrial Loft because I was reasonably sure it was a nice plain swatch. I put in the plant from the African update a little while ago and one from Cozy Kitch, and then I decided to use the Modern Luxe artwork on the walls because I was relatively sure I was safe with that. I put in a businesses and hobbies fireplace in the back corner, which is one that I really like, and I was pretty sure it was quite plain, and then I decided for appliances to use Life and Death. And I paired it with the Dream Home Decorator counters, which I was pretty sure were all plain swatches. I wanted to put in a bar, so I put in a base game one, and I could tell from the grayscale image that it wasn't quite the right shade, but I wasn't sure just how wrong. So I left it there. I put in a sink from the kitchen clutter kit, and I gave them a dishwasher as well, and then the little secret sanctuary tea set. And I decided to use Businesses and Hobbies for the bar stools as well, and a sleek bathroom kit mat in front of the sink. For the dining table, I decided to go with the big round one from Cozy Kitch, and I put that at the back next to the fireplace. I used more Businesses and Hobbies chair in what I hoped was a matching swatch, and I decided to use the refined living room bookcase down by the door. I decided to add a love seat from Businesses and Hobbies and hope that I'd matched that, as well as a little side table by the door from the same pack. I didn't have room for a lot of clutter by the door, but I put in a burglar alarm and thermostat, and I put up a fire alarm in the kitchen. I decided to put a Lovestruck rug down in that little area, and then I added the Grange mudroom post item, and I put in a coat rack as well. And then I decided I was done downstairs, so I moved up into the hallway area where I wanted an office zone, and I decided to change that to a wall of windows as well, so that the desk was up against the windows. I used Life and Death for both the desk and the chair. I cluttered it a little bit, and then I decided to put a fireplace up here as well, so I used one from City Living, which I thought was a nice pale plain shade, and I put in another sofa from Refined Living Room and just added a plain rail along the top of the stairs as well. I decided to do the bathroom next, so I went with a sleek bathroom kit bath, and because I was so confident in my counters from downstairs, I put those in the bathroom as well with a snowy escape sink. I decided to use the sleek bathroom kit toilet because I was pretty sure I could match it to my walls, and then I put in the shower as well and gave it a little glass partition. I added a few bits of clutter like the toilet roll holder, some bath salts, and I decided to put more items on the sides of the sink as well. I put up a robe, and I used hand wash from Snowy Escape on the wall and just put some more of those bath salts on a tray on the counter. I sized down some towels that I was pretty sure were a light shade, and then I used the sleek bathroom mirror as well. I used another one of the same towel next to the bath at its proper size so that it matched the others, and then I just tried to put in a plant and a little bit of decoration there. For some artwork, I used a really big item from Lovestruck that I knew was really colourful and risky, and then I added a piece from the Book Nook kit and a little sleek bathroom rug as well. At this point I realised because the platform outside was there that the door was hovering a little bit, so I gave it a step inside the house and just fixed the walls, and I gave it the same colour platform trim as the one outside and just made sure everything matched again. I wanted some skill building up here, and originally I couldn't decide what to do, but eventually I actually settled on the music making station and a keyboard and guitar all to go up there, so the sim would be more of a musician. And I decided to put a bunch of skill building outside as well, so I gave them a yoga mat and some of the free weights from Adventurer Weights. And then I went back inside. I put in a little Businesses and Hobbies table with one of the live house plants from Enchanted by Nature on it, and I used artwork from Cozy Kitch. I decided to put a frame TV up here as well, and then I used some of the Refined Living Room kit artwork in all of the empty spaces on the walls. I went in to work on the bedroom and decided to use my favourite bed from Businesses and Hobbies. I had no idea what swatch I was going for here, I just winged it, and then I put in the Refined Living Room side tables as well because I was pretty sure of those at least. I put my comfy gamer book and a little drink on the side table. I added a wall plant from Businesses and Hobbies and a little lamp from the same pack. I decided to use the Grange mudroom rug out by the door to the patio, and I quickly put a plant in by the top of the stairs to fill a gap. I decided to use a vanity in the bedroom from the Vintage Glamour kit, and I used what I thought was a matching chair. And then I put in a dresser from Modern Looks as well that I thought was a nice dark shade, and I just put in a plant in the corner. I used a piece of artwork from the Moschino stuff pack. I have no idea why, but I thought it looked bright. And then I put in a gallery wall from Secret Sanctuary above the bed as well. I used Refined Living Room for the rug, and I thought about putting a big plant in the corner, but I used a smaller base game one instead in the end. I decided to put out a games table from the Casanova Cave kit with some Businesses and Hobbies chairs, and then I just used a love seat from Refined Living Room in the bedroom. and a little cozy kitsch bookshelf, and I just put some lights up on the wall as well. I made sure to paint my ceilings to match, although for whatever reason the platform area above the door wouldn't actually paint, so I had to leave it blank. I wanted to do a little bit more outside before I finished, so I quickly put a sort of gravel pathway up to the door and up to the back as well, just a basic square one, and I removed some of the fence so that the Sims could get into the yard from that side. I moved the sun lounger so it wasn't blocking that entrance anymore, and then I went out to the front. I quickly put some planters in the big empty gap underneath the patio, and I decided I wanted some outdoor lights. And then I was at the point where I had to turn the colour back on and see what I'd done. So it's reaction time. Okay, let's have a peek. I won't lie, it's not looking the world. Well, hang on. So I've got like a pale wood on the outside. I managed to do black columns. The gravel is unfortunately brown. Alright, I'll go at this bit by bit. Outside first. That's unfortunate. That is really unfortunate. Blue, green, yellow and orange wood. Cool, okay. I managed to do pretty well out here though. I've got oh, no, never mind. Pool trim. Pool trim is beige, while the tile is white. Oh, and the fence is blue. Oh, the fence is blue. Is the fence? Yep, the fence is blue up there as well. Oh, no, I can see something. Oh, God, okay. Alright, okay. So, oh, look how well I matched all the chairs, though. So I managed to get black, red, and black, red there, even though I don't want red especially. The coat hook is admittedly the wrong wood tone, but it's got red on it. I appear to have picked some kind of greenish swatch of the door, which isn't ideal. I got a nice plain bookcase though. I managed to get a whitish grey on the stairs and the rail, which is good. Appliances. I managed white. This is... oh, I knew that bar situation wasn't quite right. I didn't know it was that wrong. So my dream home decorator units, I've got yellow and white, which matches the sink and it matches the little tea set, but unfortunately I managed to pick a white bar. Unlucky. These are horrifying. The pink doors and windows are really bad. That's so bad. Although it does match the hair in this picture. That's not bad going. It's not great, but there is a matching thing in there. I managed to get black, and that actually matches the black and the table. So that's good. Let's get upstairs. Oh no. I thought that was white. I really thought that was a white keyboard. That's bad. That's bad. Okay. Black and white there, that's what I thought I was getting, but I wasn't sure. Managed a black table. That thing's fine. Artwork, fine. Ooh. Yellow. I managed to put in a yellow fireplace, but it's okay because this desk is kind of beige. It's not the white I thought it was. The colour scheme over this side isn't actually as bad as it could be. Oh, I didn't realise the walls were slightly blue either. Oh god. Oh, it's not white. It's a blue. And up here, obviously, I've also got the disgusting pink doors and windows. This is horrifying as this keyboard. The green. Devastated by that. Okay, bedroom. Ooh. Pink bed. Blue rug. Black and red artwork. Managed to get mostly black furniture. Oh, black and pink chair at the vanity. Neon pink, some would say. Okay, not great. Weird greenish swatch on the little love seat. Oh, that's not black, it's blue. It matches the rug. Okay, that's bad. Alright. The bathroom I'm concerned about. I really am. Oh no. I knew I shouldn't have done the light in between the tiles for the wall and the floor. But I got the toilet that matches the floor tiles. Awful grey rug. It's a good match, the towel. Nice colourful artwork. Oh god, yeah, of course. Oh wow, I managed to match this and this with the walls. But oh god, we've got so many different metal tones in here. That one matches that one though. The yellow counters with the bright pink floor is particularly bad. This isn't great, but not everybody has a robe that matches their bathroom, so that's fine. Oh, is it the worst bit of the house? I don't know. I really don't. This is the most devastating thing in the house, I think, is the keyboard. That, well, the yoga mat matches the fence. I managed to get a decent plain swatch on the weights. The card table, relatively plain, it could be worse. Well, I mean, it's not the best, is it? It's not the worst. It's not the worst. But it's really not the best. The problem is I don't know the swatches in this game very well. I build a lot in it, but I don't pay attention to where the swatches are. And I feel like that's come back to bite us a little bit here. I've done quite well downstairs with the black and red everywhere. I think the biggest mistake I've made is these pink doors and windows and the bright green keyboard. Possibly this neon pink chair, although it kind of goes with the pink bed. There's a bit of a blue and pink pattern throughout, you know. But yeah, I am not the happiest I've ever been about that, but it was an interesting experiment, so it's worth a go. It's worth trying to build in grayscale. It's just horrifying when you finish and you don't know what any of the swatches are, and you should have known better. Yeah, enjoy the screenshots, I guess. Please consider a like and subscribe.